I kind of compare the church in our question of how long to a drive from Delaware to Florida in a minivan. I-95. I've done this drive so many times, and I thought it was hard with one child. 5, it's like you're driving closer to hell. I mean, we drive down south. 5 kids. I remember the last time we went, I think we were in Virginia. We didn't get even to Virginia. It's like 3 hours, and there's only like 3,700 more hours to go. Caleb's throwing up on himself. Sadi's back there with her issues, and she's not going to sleep. She won't go to sleep. She's hypervigilant, and just all this crazy stuff going on in the car. I thought, I'm turning this car around. I'm going to buy plane tickets, and we're flying down. It's hard, but the funny thing is, what is the question kids ask on long trips? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And what's the response from the parents? Not yet. Not yet. Not. And then some of you add a few curses in there every once in a while. Don't you make me do it, Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Now, what we've done since I was a kid, because we've been asking this question, I think that Seth and Cain and Abel were asking this question, to Adam and Eve. And we've been asking it ever since. And I remember when I was younger, we had coloring books, kids. Coloring books. That's all we had. We had crayons, whatever you call them, crayons. And we had coloring books. And that was supposed to keep us occupied. And then we had, back then, they had portable games. Only they weren't as small as they are now. They were you broke out Battleship. It was the whole Battleship game. And we drove down in a hot van, and I-95 wasn't as fast as it is now. And it took forever. Now, today, what you have is you got video screens, you got Game Boys, you got DSs, 3DSs, PSPs. You can haul your Xbox and hook it up to your TV in your big mobile entertainment system center minivan. And the kids are still asking what? Are we there yet? Play your DS. I'm bored of it. I'm going to smack you. And some parents are like, we'll stop at the next Best Buy and buy you a new game so we can just not hear that question, are we there yet? And what happens is, on the way down to Florida, our kids just, the parents start losing control. There's not a lot of perseverance there. Finally, they go to sleep when you're almost there. It's 6 McDonald's stops later, old French fries later, 400 poopy diapers later, people throwing up on themselves later. But, by North Carolina, you just stop changing diapers. You're just poop in your pants. And you get down there, and what happens is, our kids, we open up the van, it's like a puff of bad air, poof, comes out of the van, and we're like, we're in Florida, we're there, and everybody just jumps out. Jovan's got a tail of poop, they jump out, and everybody's happy. They're just, all of a sudden, they were dead asleep, and they get out, and they're soiled, and they're beat up, their hair's all crazy, but all of a sudden, when they get to the destination, they're really happy, aren't they? And so I compare our lives and the lives that we live very similar to us as kids driving in the minivan down to Florida. Because life, I think, by the time Jesus comes, one of two things is going to happen. Either Jesus is going to come back, or you're going to die, one or the other. Regardless of what happens to that point, when you meet Jesus, you're going to be beaten up, you're going to be soiled, you're going to be hungry, you're going to be hurting. And that's going to be a glorious day, isn't it? That's going to be a glorious day. And until then, we ask that question, are we there yet? How long, O Lord, must we sing this song, as Psalm 40 says? How long, O Lord, must we sing this song? And James is saying, come now. Therefore, be patient as the farmer is patient. As he waits for the fruit, as he waits for the early and the late rains, then it bears the special fruit from the ground. Then it bears that treasure, that harvest. So you also be patient. And we keep asking that question, are we there yet? And I know that question for many of you, you want to know. And the more intense your suffering, the more intense your hurt, the more intensely you want to know the answer to that question.